Thank you for coming in so early. I just woke up 5 minutes ago. I'm just kidding. Alright. So my good friend front of house, he convinced me to turn down the amp today. It's still good. So yeah, man, good to be here. Copenhagen Guitar Show. I was here 2 years ago, 2017. I don't know if any of you guys were in this room. Were you here? Yeah? Cool. Yeah, that was a fun time there again. So when the opportunity came up for me to return, I said, fuck yeah, of course. I love it here. It's a nice show. I was walking around earlier, seeing so much cool gear, so many cool guitars, new stuff, vintage stuff. But I'm here today on behalf of Black Star Amps and the guys from Luftman. They were in charge they were responsible for arranging everything for me to come up here, so thank them for that. And what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna play along to some of my backing tracks, just like last time. Pretty much do the same kind of thing, just maybe play a few newer songs for you. Talk a little bit about the gear that I use, describe it. But I also would like to do a little bit of a Q&A thing, just because it always makes me feel better if I see what you guys, pick your brain a little bit as well and see what's on your mind. If you have any questions, it could be about, music business stuff, guitar related, technical stuff, gardening or fishing or whatever, So. So without further ado, maybe we should start by playing a song, I think, right? All right? Yeah. All right! All right, here we go. So the minute I started playing this, I realized I forgot to put my phone on flight mode. And all I was thinking was, fuck, what if my mom calls or my wife calls? That would have been funny, isn't it? Oh man. You know, the people ask me, what's on your mind when you're playing? Oh fuck, did I forget to? Did I turn the oven off? I don't know, did I feed the cats or something? That's usually what's on my mind when I play. A little bit quickly about the setup here today. I use oh, it's a 200. I thought it was a 100. I just noticed that. It's a Series 1 200 actually. It's a great amp. I've used this since 2010. So about 10 years now, 9 years. I love these amps. I've toured around the world with them. They're heavy duty. They're not easy to carry, I can tell you. You need to hire a guitar tech to carry these around. But they sound great. I think the secret, one of the secret weapons of this amp, in my opinion, is the tubes, the KT88s. It produces this big, thick tone, which I fell in love with originally back in 2010. I first tried it out when I was in California recording with Ozzy on an album called Scream. And we used this amp during the whole album and then took it on around the world on tour. And later on, I had the honor to actually design an amp with Blackstar based on this model, based on the Series 1 200. And we basically changed the cosmetics and redid the distortion circuit a little bit, made it a little bit more custom to my likings. But other than that, I love this amp. I love the Series 1 actually, even the 50 watt or the 100 watt heads. And I mean, it's a 4-channel amp, very versatile. I mean, for better or for worse, I've only used one channel my whole life, and that's a distortion channel. As long as it does that, it's good, you know. It's got nice features. Obviously, it has the DSP power. You can drive the power amp up to 200 watts or turn it down to 20 watts. It's a really cool feature that Blackstar came up with. Yeah. What else? Then it goes into this cab, 4x12 speakers, Celestion Vintage 30s, I believe it is. Yeah. Other than that, what else? Yeah, this is my Jackson guitar. I've been using it the last few years. I think I introduced that here last time I was here at the convention because we had just released these models. So yeah, still love them. This is my main guitar. What else is there? The rig is very simple. It's a delay pedal basically. Just I use it for the solos. And I have a little bit of an overdrive pedal, which is called the Speed Demon. When I want to play fast, I step on it and I play fast. That's not what it really does, but it's an overdrive pedal that I started. It's actually my own kind of thing, but we make it with a small company from Athens, Greece, Crazy Tube Circuits, and it's actually it's something that I sell directly from my website, so you can pre-order one from my website if you like. But we only do pre-orders. It's nothing for retail and stuff. So yeah, I use it to boost a little bit of the leads and stuff. And this is my band, the iPhone, and that's all I use. And you guys have any questions? If you do, raise your hand.
Gus,
yeah.
do you run your delay pedal in the factory?
Yes.
Always.
Yeah, because if you put it in front, then it's gonna sound a little bit more of this kind of. How does it sound? Yeah. Well, I mean, if you want to get that kind of fuzzy tone, a little bit of that tape, kind of echo, or what do you call it, like that? Yeah.
Fucked up.
Yeah. More distorted and more. Yeah, I mean that's a sound too, you know, if you're into that. So, but I want this to have like a little good, clean tail, you know, to do that kind of thing, you know. Yeah, that kind of thing.
And do you stick to one tempo, or do you tap it, or?
Yeah, just one tempo. Less stuff to think about. I mean, it works with most stuff, I guess. I mean, most of the stuff I play is either like whatever, it doesn't matter, or like if you play like hold a note, it still sounds good. And I think it sounds okay. Depending depending on the song tempo. I know some guys like to do the tap thing. Do you do the tap thing for, yeah? You like the tap dance? Yeah, it's good. It's good. I mean, some guys, I know they also hook up 2 different delays on 2 different amps. Do you do that at all or no? Have you tried that?
I like the ping pong thing.
You do that, yeah. Like, how many cables do you need for that? Oh man, yeah. Come on. You guys any, I know it's early.
What kind of strings do you use?
DR strings.
How thick are they?
Oh, they're 10 to 52.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I used to play 10 to 56, but now 10 to 52. And as I get older, they're gonna get lighter and lighter.
Yeah.
Shorter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The guitar's gonna go up higher. The gauge is gonna be 6s, 7s, or 6s. Yeah, now they're good, man. It's yeah. I actually just changed strings. That's why I'm having some tuning problems now.
Standard tuning or?
No, we're 1 whole step down. D. Yeah, man.
And with NJ.
With?
And James.
And James. Yeah, well, we haven't figured something out yet. We just did a song together and we did a couple of things. I did this guitar camp in Greece back home this summer and I had him over for that and it was great. But yeah, it would be nice to maybe do some tour dates sometime in the future. I would love to. Yeah, but nothing planned so far. Yeah. I think today you're gonna be the best.
Because I have so many questions.
Okay.
Can you tell us a little bit about the Scream album and how was it for you to be recording your first album with Ozzy? Were you nervous as fuck or were you?
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's a good question actually. Yeah, it was a little bit, yeah, you could say it was nerve-wracking. I mean, they made sure that I was very comfortable. You know, we were recording in Ozzy's house. He had like this amazing $1 million studio, like in his basement. And he's like, just take your time, do the guitars, take as long as you like, there's no rush. So it was cool. I was hanging out there for a few weeks with his producer and Kevin Jerko, and I mean, it was great times, and he didn't stress me or anything. He just let me do my thing down there. We just have like a lunch break, maybe come down occasionally, listen to what I've done for the day, and then tell a joke. In classic tradition, and then.
But you record for like a month or?
Yeah, like a month. Yeah, something like that.
Guitars for 4 weeks.
Yeah, 4 or 5 weeks. It was good. I mean, the only other time you can do that is, I think it's when you have a home studio set up only. I mean, you cannot, these days, hiring an expensive studio for that long. But it was cool, you know, they didn't rush me with that, and it was also an interesting album for me because I'm so used to writing the stuff that I play on, but this was like already there. It was kind of weird because the songs were there, like the basic songs, but they had no solo parts, and the riffs were not really there either, just like the themes. The producer kind of like chopped them on Pro Tools and made it very mechanical. So like my job was to come in and replay this and make it sound like as natural as possible, as if a guitar player would do it, you know?
So you played every guitar on that album? Yeah.
I redid all this stuff, so I mean, we added all the solo sections. There was no solo parts or melodies or anything like that. So it was a very fun experience. I mean, and of course, when you're there, you can't help think of all the guys that were there in that band. You're like, oh my God, how are we gonna release this? it's like, how can that thing compare to any of that? So it's always there. That ghost is there, you know, somehow. But I don't know. At the end of the day, you just do your best. You know, it is what it is for the time being. I look at albums like music albums. I look at them as photo albums in a way of your life, of where you are at a certain point, how your playing is, how your style, how your feelings come out. So I'm sure you can relate to that. So yeah, so Yeah, that's what it is, you know. Like, and at the end of the day, you do what you do for the time being, and then you obviously want to get better for the next album.
Sure, yeah.
I don't think there's any musician ever in history that said, "I want my next album to be shit." Of course, everybody wants to make better next time, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah. So yeah.
I have a question about your inner process in learning, growing, playing music. Was it something that always felt easy, effortless, or did you ever have to deal with stress, struggle, that kind of thing?
I mean, you're talking about like practicing
Yes.
stuff or learning
You
stuff.
mean you have some ideas that you know you want to learn, but you want to be better quicker than it actually needs to...
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I think everybody goes through that. The frustration sometimes, where you want to get to a certain point, maybe technically or something, and there's always like this threshold where you kind of you get stuck. Everybody gets stuck in ruts, I think. I don't know. For me, whenever something is just like getting too much, I just kind of like leave it on the side, go do something else, and then come back. Yeah, because you can't just like, if you insist too much, then
You can force it, I mean.
yeah. So I remember when I was a kid, I used to do all these. Like, I used to split my practicing routines into different segments. Like, I would do the scale thing for an hour, and then I would try to learn a chord every day or something and play with that, or I would do a little bit of improvising, and I would just play along to my favorite records and try to improvise. And so just to keep it fresh all the time and try to learn something. I mean, it really never ends, even to this day. It's like, it just doesn't end. It's like, so yeah, I mean, if you get frustrated, you shouldn't worry about that. It's natural, I think. So we're human, we're not machines. So you should, just maybe take a little break and then come back later. And somehow it feels like, or even like when I record an album, sometimes I can get stuck in a solo for hours, and then like, you know what? I'll go do something else, and then I come back maybe the next day, and then all of a sudden it's there. I don't know how and why, but it's, you have to clear your mind sometimes.
Nice.
Yeah. You were saying something before you forgot?
Oh, just one final question about string. Do you remember, like, did you layer guitars, like, sometimes you layer, main guitars 3-4 times?
Yeah, we did that.
You did that?
We did four rhythms.
Yeah.
4. Yeah.
Because that's the sonically sound picture of that album is pretty fucking great.
Yeah. It was, that big guitar tone. It was
Really, really good.
It was and of course, Kevin Churko is a producer who comes from the Mutt Lange school. He was a Mutt Lange's protege. So I remember we did this song, a song called Life Won't Wait. And he was coming up with he was telling me like stuff like, tune this string like this and the other string like that. And it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. And then I was playing tunings that I had no idea what it was. And coming up with some chord, but he had this sound in his mind, and then he would do the classic like Def Leppard kind of thing, like play one chord, and then play the other chord, and then he would just kind of like merge them together, and then you had this super clean kind of. So that's his style. He works a lot like that. I don't necessarily do stuff like that when I record. I like a little bit of dirt in there. So but I mean, it was a great experience. I learned a lot working with him. Absolutely, yeah, it was. Yeah, but doing the quadruple rhythms, that's something that we do often, even on other albums that I do. Nowadays, not so much. I might do that only for like choruses, just to give it a little bit of a push. Yeah. How do you do it?
Same thing, 4 guitars in the main riff and then 2 guitars in the verse.
Yeah.
6 guitars.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah. It just helps, I guess, for mixing purposes, to add that volume sort of naturally instead of maybe, I don't know.
And it adds a bit of chorus without chorus.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. If played very tight, I guess. Maybe I should play another song.
Yes.
What should I play? Force Majeure. Okay, I'll do that. And that song is about what you don't want to have on your record contracts. I don't know how loud this is, but let's find out. That song was a really big hit in my hometown. All my cousins bought a copy. Really big hit. I think I'm gonna play one more song just to get warmed up because I'm not so warmed up yet. All right. Yeah. It's never a good idea to change strings like 20 minutes before you have to do a show. I don't know why I thought this was a good idea, but I did. I did it. I did it. We're here. Cool, man. Yeah, that song was called Thrill of the Chase. It's actually off my latest solo record. It's called Fearless. Yeah. I was actually here last year with my solo band. We did, I did a show with your local boy Jesper Binzer, and that was a lot of fun. Coming back to Copenhagen next month, actually, I should mention, with my band Firewind. We're touring with Queensryche, so I think November 26th is the date, so if you guys wanna come see the rock show. Yeah. Any questions, anybody? Yeah.
I've been staring at your right hand, trying to work out whether you're...
That's why I missed all these notes. You're staring at my hand. So.
No, just because I'm aware of pick slanting, and sometimes more optimal to be one like up or down, depending on the note group. Are you consciously aware that you're doing that?
No, I don't think any guitar player is conscious of that.
No, I don't think about it. I'm doing it. Right? I think about it first and then learn it. And then
Yeah, I know what you mean. No, like when I was, I don't know, when I was developing the picking skills or so to speak, the technique, I did not think about it, just came to me naturally. So, what is it that you think I'm doing? Is it?
Well, just sometimes depending on which direction you have to hop to the next string. Are you like? Do you know all
Man, I've never seen that. I haven't even slowed it down so to see that, but I know I do a lot of. I thought all these years that I'm playing a lot with my wrist, but I'm not. I do a lot of this thing with thumb. So I just found that out recently. Somebody said, actually, Andy James did that to me. I didn't. He was like, "You do that?" I'm like, "I am." It's funny because everybody has their own thing, and they do like for example, Andy picks a lot of upwards and stuff, and it doesn't sound like it sounds like he picks every note, but he does a lot of when he jumps, he does a lot of up strokes. He does a lot of wrist, yeah. Whereas I do a lot of this kind of thing, yeah.
What his lectures actually had a eureka moment. It was like, he's right. He's totally right. So like, I now play like it's essentially a jazz pick, but it's made out of cellulose.
Yeah. What's the difference with that?
It's just the jazz pick is just like a fatter, thicker pick with a sharp point. You need a sharp point. But because the original ones were nylon, it wants to have your fingers would get sweaty. I'm a sweaty person. The cellulose wants to stay, not 3
Oh, that's the thing, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's across it.
I see, yeah, so it doesn't slip in your finger, yeah. It's good, man.
That's it.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know really about the pick slanting. I don't know how.
Just consider that Just consider that you always pick.
Yeah.
Best not get that voice.
Yeah, because then you start getting nervous and you forget half of the stuff you were playing for 20 years.
I'll be watching your hand. I'll tell you.
Okay, cool. Let me know later what it is that I did. Anybody?
So, what about inspiration? Like, who were you inspired by years ago? And
Gary Moore.
what about today?
Gary Moore. Same guys. Yeah, Gary Moore, Schenker, Yngwie, like a lot of the 70s, 80s guys. Yeah, Willie Roth. Who else? Like a lot. I was into. A lot of guitar players, really. I mean, besides the whole 80s Shredder, Mike Varney clan, like, Paul Gilbert and Friedman and Becker and those guys, I'm really influenced by all those guys. But also, a lot of all the classic rock gods, Gilmour, Santana. These are the guys I look for inspiration, always. Yeah. It was cool because when I was growing up, my dad, he had those vinyls and he exposed me to classic rock and a lot of great guitar playing, Hendrix and stuff like that. And then of course I got into metal, Tony Iommi, stuff like that, Dimebag. So it's like I call this like a little bag of licks. You kind of gather things that inspire you from different players and you put them in this little bag of licks, which you open up one day, years later, then that kind of sums up your style in a way. You know, hopefully you learn something like that and you do it your own way. You interpret it your own way. So yeah, and sometimes even to this day, when I get stuck, like if I record solos for a record or something and I get stuck, I'll go back and listen to some old Gary solos or some Schenker stuff. I'm like, what would Gary do? I think that's it never gets old for me, that stuff. It's
I've seen in Instagram that you've been playing making some scratch.
Yeah.
Scratch like guitars with Jackson. Is there any plan to release
Wait, which guitar you saw?
It was a D, maybe?
No. It was a Monarch. It was a single cut like the Les Paul. That's the one you talk like the flame top maple?
No.
It was a red guitar?
Maybe.
Oh, that's like a new prototype that we're working on. Yeah, we're gonna put out a couple of new guitars next year. I'm excited about that. It's gonna be a new Star guitar and a new, what do you call them, like a San Dimas Strat style guitar.
Is the one with the pointy head?
No, it's gonna have like a Strat style headstock, yeah. And I'm also introducing my new pickups actually, I should tell you about. It's not out yet, they're gonna be featured in these new guitars. I've been designing these new pickups.
So it's Jackson pickups?
No,
Because
it's Gus pickups.
you already have your own signature pickup.
I do, yeah, with Seymour Duncan, but we don't work together anymore. I mean, I still use these are the Duncan Blackouts, my signature, but I've been developing some new pickups now with another manufacturer, so it's coming out next year.
When you do solos, do you have how many percent of fixed points? I mean, how many notes are you sure you're gonna, come back to the note on forehand?
How many notes? What?
Yeah, I mean, if you have a solo, it's like 100% of notes. I would play like 50 of them.
Yeah.
And the other 50 would be like something happening.
Yeah, I play enough just so my head doesn't explode. When it gets to a warp speed and then that's it. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
I mean,
to me, a solo has to have like some sort of a beginning, middle, and end part.
Yeah.
So, with saying that, I mean, it should have melodic moments, or like whether it's like a harmony you want to do, whether it's like a fast thing, like whatever it has to be like some sort of musical statement, So if it's a part that, in my mind, it needs to be like just a lot of notes, for a while I'll do that because that's also expressing something, and then it's but you have to go somewhere with it,
Yeah, but what I meant actually was, do you know beforehand what you're gonna play? I mean,
no,
you have the solo and
no, I definitely do not think in terms of number of notes. That's definitely not. I don't think that like, oh, if there's 100 notes, no. But it's like, I think that I jam, and then I if I like something, I'll do different takes to record, and then I'll see, oh, there's something cool here. It all comes from improvisation,
Yeah.
and then I'll just, I'll keep something on the side, and then I'll record another track and maybe combine some stuff.
But then,
Excuse me, and
then when you're going to play live, are you doing like any second copy of the same solo?
Many times. I mean, I stick to that, and I mean, there's parts here and there where I'll deviate and do some other things, or there's parts during the show where I'll just improvise. So it depends. Yeah. Usually, when I perform a song, I try to play it as close to as it is how I recorded it, because my solos are pretty much fixed from before. So, yeah. But then there's there's this spot during my solo shows, we play this song called Land of Fire, and then there's it goes into this breakdown where I just improvise every night and play something different. Yeah. So, yeah.
How do you feel about recording guitars? Do you have a sort of like professional setup at home where you do it, or do you just prefer going into a professional studio to do it?
Yeah, I mean, I have a home studio, which is not super well. I mean, I have a Pro Tools setup and everything, but I just do stuff, and I send DI signals to the guy who mixes it, and then he reamps guitars. I mean, that's how we do it. That's how we do it today. It's with technology, that's a good thing. You can do stuff like that these days, and I mean, even like for the last 2 solo records I tracked rhythms. I hired a studio. I went there. We did the whole, traditional thing, like miking up amps and trying different guitars and things and tones, and it came out pretty good. But when it came time to the solos, I was not so happy. I was like, it's better if I stay at home and just take my time with it. And I don't know, especially with the solos, the last 2 records, it just felt better being at home with my pajamas and playing.
But I'm guessing that recording with guys like Kevin Checo and that rubs off on you. You learn a lot about techniques.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, by now I have a little bit of experience. I've done more than 20 records, so it's like I know how to track myself and how to edit a little bit and how to, I know what I want from the recording, how I want it to sound, what tones we're going for, and all that. So, and yeah.
You said that you record your DI signals and then reamp them. How do you feel about using plugins for tracking songs?
Plugins for what?
For when you are creating?
Yeah, I use them. I use a lot of plugins. I use a lot of the Tune Track stuff, the Easy Mix. So, yeah, to me there's a lot of products out there right now, but I like that. I actually got to profile some of my tones with Tune Track. A few years ago we released that, so it's kind of cool for me because I can go in now and just click on that's my rhythm tone, that's my lead tone, that's my clean tone. So I have all my sounds on there. Like we profile my Black Star amp, and so it's neat. I can stay at home and then just have. Of course, it's not the real thing like playing with a tube amp. Let's not kid ourselves here. But for home recording and stuff, it's pretty damn good. And if you learn how to work around that, yeah.
And when you're abroad on tour, what kind of audio gear do you have for practicing?
Usually I have with me the Black Star Fly amps. You know those? They're cool little things. Or when I do some VIP guitar lessons and stuff, I bring a couple of those, and they're nice because they fit in your suitcase or whatever, and it's good for warm up backstage, and yeah. It's like a 2-channel thing, and it even has a built-in delay, which is really cool. I like that. And they just came up with this thing, like this amp plug. Black Star came up with it, and it's like a...
Yeah, I'm trying to say 5 minutes.
Oh, 5 minutes, okay. Really? Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
I don't want to interrupt, but there is...
Right, okay.
I'm going to play one more.
I'll play one more, yeah. All right. But yeah, that's it, really. It's like, this thing is like, I think it plugs into your guitar, and it's like... You should check it out, whatever. So. All right, so I'll play one more song. Is there any? Okay, one last question.
Talking about influences and inspiration, you mentioned Schenker, etc. Do you mean inspiration by listening to the records, or you also went through the process of learning note by note some famous Schenker solos?
Both. Both, man. I mean, when somebody inspires you to pick up a guitar, that's all there is to it, and then the next thing you know is you're there trying to figure out what they're doing.
So note by note, the whole solo.
I did that for not for everything, but for a lot of stuff. Because I wanted to train my ear. I used to, back in the day with cassette tapes, rewinding and all that. So just trying to learn that, and because I think it's really good for your ear training to try to learn with the ear, figure out what it is they're playing from the recording instead of tablatures and stuff. Of course, nowadays I'm lazy. If I want to look something up, I'll go to Guitar Pro and stuff. But back in the day when we didn't have that, yeah, I would learn stuff by ear, and I'm glad I did because it helped me so much. Because it helps you develop. You know exactly when you hear something. Oh, this is probably this shape or that shape. You'll be surprised how much more it adds to your understanding of when you hear guitar playing, or you hear intervals much better. You can okay, that's a fourth he's playing. He's playing the fourth, so these are power chords, fifths, or what's a sixth, or how does a minor third, what's a major third, or how that sounds like. So you can hear that a lot by learning by ear, stuff by ear. So And of course, you get to learn all these cool licks. And sometimes, even if you don't learn them exactly how your favorite guitar players did it, I think that's even better because
you find your own way.
Because then you do it your own way. That's what brings your personality to the table. Yeah. So I'm gonna do the last song for today. Let me scream. I was planning on playing something else. What should I play, guys? Should I play The Quest? Alright, let's see that. Should be loud, hopefully. Hopefully loud. Thank you, Copenhagen Guitar Show, Black Star and Movement for bringing me over. It was great to play for you. I hope you got some useful answers, and I hope to see you sometime in a show or something. So enjoy the rest of the show here. Till next time, bye-bye.